Hi, Warriors. As Blake said, big week ahead for a summer month. Let's have a consistent week. Let's be consistent. How's that? Positively consistent. Small losses and a couple of runners to make the week. How are you, Mike? AJ? Steve? Blake, good morning. How are you? Kman, good morning. How are you? Will? Yes, Will, I'm a legend in my own mind. Thank you. The other guys are legends. AJ, Hugo, Brand, how are you? James Groom, John Hawkins. Hi, Laura. Rio, something's wrong. Euro should soon revert. Okay. You mean we should head back up? Okay. Is that what you're thinking, Rio? Okay. All right. Well, I'm
Hey, I'm with
actually
you, Rio. I just went long the euro at 50, so I'm with you.
okay. All right. I'm with you too. I'm covered my euro shorts last night early, left pips on the table, covered my dollar longs a little early, left pips on the table. I'm long a little Aussie, long cable, and short Canada. So let's see why we're doing this. Okay. We're pretty close to a breakout in the Dixie. So that's really the reason. One of the reasons is I still think there's one more low, and this is a four. So closes in the Dixie back over 98 is going to look pretty good, though. So, maybe we're going to have to revert. Sometimes the market doesn't have to revert, and sometimes we have to. So here's the dollar. Okay. So there's that trend line at 98. Jim Walsh has a lot of some moving averages. I'll check with them later, but 98 or higher is a big level. So I'm thinking that we still are going to have a third drive to a bottom. I've been talking about during this whole advance, this made me queasy, the confirmed low on the 4 hour. So let's just hypothetically say that this is for the last wave down one and or A, and it was about 200 pips, 180. So say we get 1.618 from here, the highs here, that would give you 94.60, and that would take out the lows by a little over 100 pips. And here's the reason. I still think that even though we've had one divergence here on the daily, now I'm wrong if we start closing over 98, but like Blake teaches, when you come to a point in the market where it's either going to break out or be rejected, and you don't have to risk 1,000 pips to find out, it's an inflection point. So just for, the kind of risk you could have on a trade, I mean, you could be short this Dixie with 40 pip stop, closes over 98, you're out, you get out of the way. So something I learned from Blake, the closer the market is to a breakout or failure, if you want to fade it, those have your lower risk and not as many pips that you have to risk on that. So that's my look on the dollar. So I'm thinking sometime next month, maybe we could get down here one more time. Ellioticians would call this an ending diagonal if we get this. And I think it's one of Greg's alternate counts too, Blake, and he didn't think that this was the bottom. He had both counts if it was, but I think
Yeah.
his preferred count was down here, for one more low.
That
So
would put the euro near 120, and I don't
right.
know. It's like uh, I don't know.
What took it down? Is there problems with the trade deal?
I think well, you can talk to Kman about this, but this is
Uh,
really, when I woke up, I was like, shit, is this a buy the rumor, sell the news? Is it the deal's not as sweet? And Kman's response to me, because I just was sipping on my coffee at just waking up, and he's pretty much like exactly. So I think it was just a culmination of everybody went into the weekend thinking that there's going to be
It'd
a
be a
Euro
layup.
US. Yeah, it's going to be a Euro US trade deal. Got done, so Euro's unwinding some of these longs. But look, I mean, any which way you slice it, you're still buying dollars. You're still
Yeah.
buying the erraticness of you could just say you're buying, the Trump administration if you're buying the dollar right now. So, I think this pullback in the euro has been
Overdone.
well, maybe kind of juicy for those of us that wanted to be short dollars, so.
Okay, yeah, all right. So I'm with you. I understand that. And yen keeps marching along, but also maybe we have a failing rally here in US dollar yen for a C wave to the downside. I don't think the yen's going to make a new low before we trade higher up towards maybe 52. But
Well,
I'll
and
check.
and
But
and and
go
I would
ahead,
just want to mention about the yen, and
BOJ.
Kman's going to give us some color here, I'm sure. I think well, obviously, Shiba is going to be stepping down. So, I mean, this is like, what it does for the yen moving forward. It's going to be really interesting, I think.
I'll tell you, this is a chart that influenced me that there could be one more short left in the dollar. This 10-year sure looks like it's setting up a head and shoulders top here. All right. I mean, look, it's pretty symmetrical. The neckline comes in about 430, 430 for 450 gives you 410 for yields, which is probably now the opposite setup of what people are thinking. The Fed will do nothing. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a better than expected NFP, but I can't ignore the formation. And it starts taking out 445. Maybe that's a different story, blows out the right shoulder. But this looks like a head and shoulders top to me, Blake, and the measurement takes it back under this July low. And I would think that might be the time that the dollar doesn't do well. And lastly, NASDAQ did get to one of my targets last night. I haven't done anything with it yet. Where are you? 20, 23, 450 was a target. We didn't blow out the divergence in NASDAQ like we have in S&Ps. So I'm stalking this one, haven't done anything yet. But I think this is setting up pretty good. All last week, the S&P kept making new highs and it dragged the NASDAQ up. So
And,
we'll see.
remember, we got huge.
Earnings,
Yeah, I mean, huge coming up. So, just massive amount of earnings coming up with so many of the Mag 7 companies. We will have on, let's see, on I just want to make sure I got all my clear here. On Wednesday, we got Microsoft, Meta, after the close, Qualcomm. On Thursday is going to be Amazon, Apple. Um,
wow,
and others. I mean,
everything.
MicroStrategy. There's a lot of companies. We're in the thick of it right now.
Yeah,
So
good time to be trading the dollar.
yeah, right.
Right? I mean, with all that
True.
noise, man, I tell you, and I've been the wrong way on earnings, and I'll tell you, they sure will suck a lot of premium out of your option position. So anyway, so be careful there with all these earnings. I don't think I'd be long up here. If you're not going to be short, I wouldn't be long up here. And so let's talk, hey man. How are you today, bro?
Hey, good morning, Dale. Morning, everybody. How are
So
Morning, morning,
so
Kay.
yeah,
Morning.
so your impressions of the strength in the dollar today, you think it's knee-jerk reaction, or is this failing rally in euro because we didn't make new highs last week?
I think it's
Uh,
the euro. Everything this morning is euro. If you look at euro
yeah,
prices, they are
okay,
leading. They are leading the whole dance this morning. We've had this buildup of expectations on an EU-US trade deal. We've got it. We've had that mini opening a bit higher this morning, and
yeah,
last night I was looking at it, and yeah, okay, this is a win-win situation for both. But as I slept over it, I woke up this morning and I just hammered the euro dollar because it's a win situation for the US. It's a cave-in situation for the euro. The European reactions now, which are non outside of those who were in the or negotiated the deal,
Yeah.
is not very nice. Euro is going to pay, and I think it's a win for the Trump administration. And Besant actually sold it last week, when he said the Japan US deal is a blueprint for the rest of the deals, and Europe went along with it, buying a lot of American stuff, reducing auto tariffs. That the one that clinched it for me is that $600 billion investment into the
Yeah,
US. I didn't think EU was going to give into that.
yeah, what did he get from Japan? 500.
Yeah, 550 from Japan. Of course, the EU is a bigger bloc, so we could argue that $600 billion in euro is smaller than the 550 in Japan. But no, I think the market woke up just like me this morning, saying, like, hang on a bit, this is actually a
It's
good
it,
situation
yeah,
for
so they
the
bid
US.
the dollar on that for the victory
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this.
yeah. Again, I mean, I think we need to be selective. Well, you know my opinion. I'm
Yeah.
Dixie. I trade the individual pairs, but this is, to me, I can't buy euro right now. Yeah, technically maybe, but not as such. I think there's maybe a little bit more to unwind. If you look at
How about cable here if EG is
yeah,
unwinding? Because
well,
EG is putting in like a almost a key reversal day if you
yeah.
look at the daily.
Yeah.
Pretty
The
ugly.
euro sterling really got hammered. Also because Trump and Starmer are talking. Maybe they've done their meeting right now, but Trump said that he wants to keep Starmer, Reid, UK happy. So that is supportive as well for sterling right now. So we even if the euro dollar is weak now, cable did not test that 133.65.75, and that's going to be key. Probably the rest of the week now, we are going to have like an extremely heavy data week. Month end, central banks, you name it, with the Fed, etc. I'd love to see that 133.65.75. If it goes down there and holds, that's going to be big. Um,
Okay.
but
I
I'd
think
love,
it's more bullish if it doesn't go down there.
yeah, maybe.
Anyway,
But it's all
we'll
driven
see.
by crosses right now. I mean, the
Okay.
cable is nearly unmoved, right? We opened around 134,
Yeah.
25.30. We went a little bit up and down with the dollar, but it's all euro sterling. Euro sterling lost 1% this morning, huh? And
Yeah.
which is not negligible. So it's all in the crosses. Euro yen lost 130 points. Yeah, you just look at all of them. They're lower than where they opened
Okay.
late last night and early this morning.
Any vibe on BOJ coming this week?
I
Now
don't think
that
they will move. I don't think they will move. And now, especially with this Ishiba thing, he desperately wants to stay on. But the LDP heavyweights, several of them, really want him out. The problem there is in Japan now is also if Ishiba goes, they can have like a temporary replacement, but they will have to call elections because if the prime minister steps down, having lost both houses, the lower and the upper house, they will have to call elections. And they've just lost a partial election. So I don't know exactly what's going on there, but there's enough uncertainty there to keep dollar yen beat, in my opinion. If you look at it really close to the market, it's probably 147 and a half already that we have to look at for support, 50.65 somewhere around there. And but I think, yeah, we can in this process go and trade 149 again, and then we'll see. But it's going to be dependent on once all this euro yen thing has been undone, which may actually be not too far from. Then it's back to Japanese politics, and then obviously we have a very heavy data week and the Fed in this week as well, right?
right. USD Note, which when
Mm.
Gregor was on, he wanted to sell a rally.
Yeah, he did actually, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, this rally doesn't look that spectacular. It could be just corrective
No.
of this decline with another shot to go down. But I noticed USD MEX has a
Yeah,
nice heartbeat today.
that bottomed. That bottomed. Yeah, together with dollar cat, those two bottomed. We have not really tested the 18 and a half. So there's still, yeah. I mean that's a dollar a dollar move, right?
Yeah,
Um, and
yeah,
also, I think in the back of people's mind now saying like, okay, the US is having victories on trade, so not too much of a reason to be short dollars, right?
yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
well, I
that's
mean,
the
what
idea.
would be the reason? What would be a reason to reverse this dollar action? Which really, it's been a few weeks
Data,
since the 96 low. It's been a while. What would
mm,
reverse it?
data, data.
And which we
Okay.
have a shit ton of
Yeah,
data coming out
exactly.
this week, right?
Okay.
We have a
Yeah.
lot. We have
Yeah.
the Q2 GDP, and then all the labor reports, and you have an FOMC in the middle, which should not give us anything, but it's going to be scrutinized, and even if they don't do anything, it's still going to move. But no, I think data. For as long as the data in the US don't fall out of bed, and there's to me at least, a fair chance that after seeing those deals, especially with Japan and the EU, China will be a different matter. But they also are actually also there. They extended the negotiation period for another 90 days, and they start again to talk in Stockholm today. But Xi is still not warming up to to giving anything to the
Okay.
US.
Well, maybe they get everyone and there's a problem with China, like usual.
Well, yeah, but is that going to affect that? It may affect risk to have that, but will it affect really stuff like euro, dollar, and cable, for instance?
Yeah.
And if you only name those two, all the
Yeah.
rest of the dollars, I don't know. You can have like a different thing going on with China, and then yeah, it will affect the rest obviously because China is the biggest manufacturer in the world. But is it really? It may drag on. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
We've actually looked at that dollar China this morning, but you're talking about micro moves, right? That it's from bottom to top. The last move there is 0.5%, yeah, not even.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I was
And
looking at
simply,
it. It's really 720, 22 on the top side, 709, 711 on the downside. If it goes outside of there, then I think we have a new move coming in dollar China.
okay. Well, there was a dollar buy signal, and it was Blake has
Yep.
been saying for weeks, if gold breaks this trend line, I don't care where the currencies are at, I'm buying the dollar.
Yeah,
Uh,
we haven't broken it yet though. That's the
it
thing.
has, but it's not like
Well,
it's not
yeah,
like your clean break, right?
right. There's
Yeah.
been like zero follow through, and
Yeah.
Okay.
that's the thing. Like, well, here I'll show
Okay.
you guys what I've got,
Uh,
but it's like, yeah, I mean, when you see like a breach of this rising trend line like, that you've seen here, and it's like, okay, well, there's been zero follow through, so I don't know if I can follow through with that idea, and that's
And if I may, Blake, I
yeah.
also you can have this, but the longer your trend line is working, there's two things to say, in my opinion, right? So it's getting bigger because it's long and it has been holding so far. But then at the same time, it comes to market. It came to market. It is not the market really. I mean, this trend line has been going on from sorry, 2,500 or so, right? And
Yeah, well, since the beginning of the year,
yeah,
basically.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
but it came to market. It's not like the market is not going to visit it at 3,200 or 2,900. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
It
what you're
came,
saying is priced in really it's more in time that
yeah,
we're
and I'm
reaching
and
it.
I'm having difficulties really to start massively trading it because it came so close to actual market, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't taken advantage of it in the patterns in play, just because I don't, I'm nervous about it as well. And speaking of which, I want to show you guys real quick, just when we're talking about like the euro. So the euro, speaking of something that's just come down to the trend line, so the euro just slumped right back to the rising trend line and also the previous breakout point from the triangle. But also more importantly, it's like this major like this, 130.40 level has been, or excuse me, 130.40, 116.40 has been a really big level of contention for so long. You have to go all the way back to 2005. I know I've made several references of this specific number. We're basically, coming down there to pivot this morning. Now, I'm we might be in different camps as far as like, oh, is the dollar going to rally here, or is the dollar going to start selling off after getting this pullback? I mean, I'm in the camp that I'm going to trade it for a bounce this morning. Obviously, if you're in the Forex Analytics trades room, you can see I got long the euro at 116.50 at exactly 1 hour and 2 minutes ago. So I'm already starting to get long, and if you guys are in the trades room right here, you can actually, know that I bought Aussie as well. So I'm already.
If you scroll back up, you will see where I sold it.
No, I was looking at that this morning, Kman. I saw that you were selling euros when you got up overnight.
Yeah.
Somewhere over here. Yeah, you started shorting the euro last night. And so, guys, if you're not in the Forex Analytics chat room, like this is a 24-hour thing. I was sleeping, Dale was sleeping. K-Man's out there shorting the euro at 117.47 last night. And now here you got me jumping in North America, waking up going, shit, I'm going to be getting long. And he's covering it down here. Look, if you're not dancing around with us in the chat rooms, you're missing out. So take advantage of the sale that we have right now, which is a 40% off our monthly subscription. And once you're in, you're grandfathered in. So take advantage of it. That's, we brought these prices back down to the Liberation Day offer, prices we haven't had since 2019. So take advantage of it. And then plus you get all this really cool tool. And I don't even want to show you guys one of the other tools that we've added here that is more of an institutional tool that we're demoing out. So make sure you check it out. All right. Going back to what I was saying here. But yeah, the euro slumped down to what I think is going to be pretty important. And as Kman pointed out, there's so much data coming out this week that could be a mover here. I mean, so much. Okay, so now that we're here, what are you going to do? So Dale, what are you thinking here? And I know you said you bought some euro. Did you just buy it today or?
I bought cable this morning and sold Canada this morning and bought a little Aussie last night.
Okay. All right. I
covered my euro short. I went into the weekend short euro long dollar, got out of them early, and starting to reverse because I still think if we don't break out over 98, there's another slide in the dollar to complete.
Okay. Well, speaking of the dollar, let's go take a look at the dollar. And so the dollar is in this inverted head and shoulder pattern. This is, by the way, the 618 retracement. And you can't see it because I removed the 618 right now, but we just hit the 618 again this morning. So if you were, looking at Forex Analytix this morning, about an hour ago, you would have noticed we hit the 618 retracement and the dollar index. Now you're starting to see it pull back. And so we're in this, I think, battle zone in the dollar, which is going to be somewhere between here and here. So whether we continue to forge out this inverted head or shoulder or not has probably more to do with what Kman was saying with what's going to happen with data as we get in this week. So Kman, how are you going to navigate around this? I know you were short the euro. You going to stay short down here, or you covered everything?
Yeah, no, I covered quite a bit, but I mean, last week I was long euro crosses, and I did take profits but only on parts, and then so part of the euro dollar that I sold this morning was actually to cover the rest of my euro process long because I didn't trust them at all.
You know what pisses me off is I was up 100 pips in the euro CAD last night, and I was like, I didn't take it off. I still own it, so I'm still long, and
Yeah, I think
now I'm
that,
kind
but
of
it's,
flat.
you know, we it's been the market digesting what it actually was. Because if you remember last night, or late evening for you guys, when the market opened, the market was positive on the euro trade, right? But it's
Yeah.
digesting all those details, and what the actual trade meant. And I think that took the market like hours to find out that it's actually a much better deal for the US
Hours. It
than it
came
is for
into
the euro.
conclusion like literally 12 hours while us
Yeah,
dimwits are sleeping. That's what
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
So,
No, so what I think about it here, you know what? All in all, I still think we are in that bigger range, because we have not broken massive levels to the downside on the euro dollar. And I would say, like, for as long as we are above, where is it, 115-ish, whatever, we could still, like, just trade a range, and see what happens there. But like on the day, and maybe as well in tomorrow, because tomorrow we have value data end of month. Um, into tomorrow, I can see this euro continue to test small lower levels. That's my opinion right now. But I did scale back. I'm not. And if it goes back above one, I don't know, 117, figure 10 or so, I'll be gone on the rest. So always protecting what I've got, at least in parts. But yeah, I think we are not done with this euro right now, specifically for the euro.
Where are you at on the metals, Kay?
Yeah, I spoke about it on the Flow Show as well this morning, and I said, like, well, we've seen this, and we've seen gold, for instance. We started to come off. When was it? On Wednesday, and then especially on Thursday. Yeah. And when Besant was saying, like, oh, okay, maybe the EU deal is possible. It's a lack of need for hedges, okay? And then you add a bit of dollar strength, in general, versus euro, etc., or versus dollar yen, for instance, versus the yen. And you don't need all those hedges. But the problem is we are still not making a new low, right? You see, from end of
Yeah.
June into July, a low, then a higher low, then a higher low, and we are still not breaking the first low, right?
Yeah.
So I think the jury is still out, and that's why I have an issue with trading that trend line right now. Normally, such a trend line break should be not a no-brainer. Nothing is ever a no-brainer.
and
Uh, but
silver is a kind of, this is one of those, we hit new highs on the year, and but relative strength very divergent, and
Yeah.
yeah.
it's not
Drive
like it's
too.
bearish,
But
but
no,
it's
no, not at all. I was just going to say silver is a completely different animal for me. Because if you get deals, if you get a better outlook on global trade, silver should be holding up a lot better than gold is. That's my opinion anyway. Uh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. That's drive two up there in silver.
uh,
Yeah, well, here's another one, an interesting one with copper. As we actually put in a false breakout last week,
Yeah.
and it's trading a little heavier. I guess maybe what happens with China is probably going to be a bigger, determination what happens with copper
absolutely.
this week. And let's just chat about some of the things that are happening this week, just so everybody's clear on things that are going on. So, tomorrow we're gonna have like let me just kind of scroll through here as far as what we've got, data wise. So tomorrow we're gonna have jolts. That's gonna be a big deal. We have Aussie CPI that's going to be tomorrow night, which will be Wednesday morning in Australia. Obviously, once we get into Wednesday, it gets really crazy because we have ADP non-farm, we have advanced GDP data, we have the Bank of Canada, we have the FOMC. Shit, I'm gonna get your thoughts on the FOMC here, Kman, here in just a second. We have the BOJ, which will be Wednesday night, Thursday morning, right? Then on Thursday, we're going to have PCE, which, obviously the Fed's going to be looking at that, and unemployment claims, which came in at below 220,000 last week, which is another just stellar number for unemployment claims. And then, wrap it up with Friday, we're going to have our jobs report, and then we're going to have our jobs report. We get ISM manufacturing. ISM services will be next week. But then on top of all that, we have earnings coming from if you know, here's what the calendar that I look at. I'm actually meeting with the CEO of this company actually on Wednesday. So of Earnings Hub. So uh, we have we have Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Apple. So anyway, we have a lot of earnings that are happening this week from the Mag 7. So before Dale takes over with his interview, let me and who do you have this morning?
BWAP Trader 1, JJ.
Okay. All right, but I don't want to eat too much into his time. But Kman, FOMC, what are your thoughts?
Nothing. You know, I didn't have time. I didn't even have time to talk about the central banks this morning on the flow show.
Which is
That's how
crazy
much
because
is
it
going on
seems like
this
they're
week.
playing second fiddle. So,
This week is massive in terms of data because besides all that US data, we will have like European CPIs, European GDPs. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a massive week. It's going to be hard to just pick out one there, but I think FOMC hold and. But we may get, depending on some of the data, we may get that little hint that they are ready for September or so. That's what I'm going to look for in the FOMC, but for the rest, not too much. Bank of Japan won't move either, I think. Too much uncertainty and not enough clarity yet. And also with that political mess, they are probably not going to move either.
all right. All right. Well, thank you, K-Man, for your thoughts. And Dale, I know you have your interview right now, and I just want to say, everyone, you know, this is the place to be. If you guys are already in the right spot for, you know, hearing us, you got to make sure you listen to K-Man this week. Ryan's out on vacation, so K-Man's managing the flow show that happens while Dale and I are sleeping, and a lot of you might be sleeping as well. So make sure you're listening to K-Man in the mornings and also be in our chat room. Again, if you want to dance the markets with us and you want to know exactly where, how K-Man was short in the euro last night. I'm picking up the euro this morning on the long side. If you want to be navigating through these markets with us, you do it right through Forex Analytics. So,
Hey,
Dale?
Blake, you want to just make an announcement again about the risk management, risk off?
Yes, yes. Actually, I'm actually going to put down the times. We have a risk management show that will be on. It's a week and a couple of days from today. It's August 7th. I think we are going to be kicking off it with in UK time. So in London time, it'll be at 4 o'clock. And it's probably going to end up being about an hour and a half long. And it's got Dale, K-Man, Ryan, myself, Steve Stelios, Andre is going to be there, Nick from Trading Analytics, and hopefully Leandro will be there speaking a little bit of Spanish. But we'll have this risk management webinar, and the link will be in this weekend's uh, newsletter.
Newsletter.
To get the newsletter, you go to our website, click right in the middle, and make sure you sign up for the newsletter right here. You will have your login details on this upcoming weekend.
Thanks, Blake. Good hunting, Kay, today, buddy. Nice trading last night.
Thank
I
you.
know how tough it is just to, do a show by yourself. So it's not as easy when you have someone else to play off of, right? So
Well,
it's like a soliloquy.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
somewhere, but it's okay, buddy. I mean,
All right, man.
I managed.
Uh, all right. Anyway, and Blake, thank you, man. We'll see what happens the rest of the day and turn around Tuesday and um, great Monday to, you know, not be panicking about, oh, the dollar is just going to blow without us. It's still could be a two-sided market. We'll see. So that's a wrap for F.A.C.E, and now the interview section. And JJ, good to have you back. Haven't talked to you since we had a crash and then a massive recovery that took a lot of people by surprise. I think both directions did. How'd you handle it, bro?
Oh, indeed, indeed. How are you doing, Coach? Good to,
Good, man. Good, buddy.
yeah, thank you for having me. Um,
It's always good
oh,
to have you. So,
yeah,
what?
the crash was very hard to help people trade through that, or
Yeah,
actually not trade if they didn't have the skill.
yeah.
It's a horrible thing to tell people, you shouldn't be in this. Because they want to trade, they want to make money, but if you don't have the skill to trade that kind of volatility, just stay out. And the brokerage firms do a good job of keeping you out by raising, day trade margin just disappears, right?
Okay.
So that helps, but it's been
I really
yeah,
don't think it's a terrible thing to
I don't either. I don't either.
advise people to
Yeah,
uh, be out because, risk and
yeah,
overnight
yeah.
stuff can leave
Retail.
big
Re-
dents in the car.
oh, exactly. And retail doesn't want to hear it, but you have to tell it because, we're here to tell the truth. And so it's been an interesting market again. I'm not sure if you guys can see my chart. I hope you can,
We
but
got it. Yeah.
okay, yeah, it's if we look at that weekly, it's another great margin robbery, just like COVID. You know, we flushed out all the margin longs, put them in back into wholesale hands and right back up higher, which is a trademark of this market that has limited supply. I'm sure if you check the positions on Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, all the big, large numbers, they probably, if you looked at the, what is it, not the 20 Fs, the quarterly reports that hedge funds file, is it 13 Fs? Something
Yeah.
like that tell you, how much they sold. Positions didn't move, right? Because they're holding them for 3, 4 decades. So it just flushes out all the people who use margin to buy, who are in swing positions on a margin basis. They haven't paid for their stock in
Isn't
cash.
that happening again right now?
Right
I've
now,
heard margin debt's been increasing over the last couple of weeks.
it
Maybe
it
not to the same levels,
it
but
it, it probably could. We really do need a liquidation. This market's a little out of control to the upside, but hey, who am I to judge? Uh, you know,
yeah, yeah,
I'm watching this thing, watching for a gap fill. We've got a poor low, which shows that the market is bid at that low at 33 quarter. And you get when market profile shows you a poor low, and I'll go and kind of zoom in on it. It's just when you have the one tick of excess, you got a poor low before a gap fill, which is pretty interesting because that just shows you that they're all bids just lined up here in that gap waiting. And we'll see. Hopefully, the point of control moves down, and then we maybe break that low and fill the gap. I think it's healthy to fill gaps. I don't like markets that have unfilled gaps, and we got 3 or 4 underneath us right now.
yeah.
So this market's kind of the structure is a bit like a giraffe walking up a ladder backwards,
Okay.
The
So
only thing is,
you're feeling like, and a lot of the, kind of like trash, like coals, GameStop type of stocks have
yeah,
really been going doubling in a
yeah,
week.
the speculation is back big time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can feel it, with the newer traders, they're getting in there. I read an article in the Wall Street Journal saying how people are now speculating on Forex at 500 to 1 leverage.
Wow. You
So
can't get that in the US.
no, no, and that's a good thing. But over here in the UK, coach, you should see how many what they say is, they say use the CFDs and spread betting because it's tax.
Free.
There's no it's tax, but you still have to make earnings to pay taxes, right?
Right. Right.
And these people are just getting wiped out. The other thing over here is they allow you to transfer money between your bank account and your brokerage account instantly. So people will get into a bad position and just keep wiring all the money out of their bank account to hold the position.
Wow.
Whereas in the
That's
US,
yeah.
that doesn't happen. It takes a couple of days for a wire to hit, or at least a day, right? So you have to close out at the end of the day. Here, I've seen people just drain their bank accounts holding on to bad positions because they have no risk management. And I'm really glad you guys are having a risk management, educational thing because that nobody likes to talk about risk management because it seems really boring until you blow up your account, you know?
Yeah,
Uh,
I've done it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've
You know
I've
what?
actually,
A lot of the market wizards, I've interviewed
yeah.
Schwager
Oh yeah.
and so,
Guy's a good guy.
most of the horror stories, even with guys that ended up making
Yeah,
being written about in his books,
yeah,
was not having hard stops in.
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So, I don't know how many times people have to get hit in the head with a ball peen hammer to not have this thought come out of their head or even speak it. I think I'll watch it for a while.
Yeah, I have this thing now that I try and teach people, and I go, you know what? There's a business reason for the trade, and there's a business reason for where you put your stop. Your stop is like an insurance policy. So if that business reason gets violated, why would you still commit capital to that business transaction? You know, and you try and get them to visualize it, and it's helping, but it's slow, because you're still having to overcome a lot of bad habits and emotional type of trading, because a lot of traders are emotional because they really don't understand the underlying business. And, we really try and teach them to understand why the business reason for the trade is happening. So you take it and then you have your stop, which is insurance. And also your stop gives you information. Am I trading too early? Am I getting sucked in? Sometimes it can be just you get stopped out because, a stray order. But, the stop tells you a lot and it can help you actually manage your trading day. Like if you're getting stopped up, two, three times in a row, maybe take a step back. You're obviously not in the groove. You're missing something. Learn from your stops. That we're trying to educate people to sort of be a bit more, mechanical about their trading. Like when when you were on the floor, as I was on the desk, you know, if you were long something, you'd put some sell orders out, right? Like
Yeah.
lookout offers to see if they get taken, then that there's appetite higher, right?
Yeah.
And conversely, I'd use a lookout bid. I'd throw a market maker on the bid at 5 and say, it's there for 500 and a call. When you get hit, tell me how much, who hit you and what they showed you, right? But you don't get that sense of urgency in screen-based trading. So what I try and do is teach people how to um, have a method for their execution. So their execution, when things go wrong, they are automatically trained to get out of bad situations, like a pilot is trained to get out of a bad situation, so they don't freeze.
Well,
Um,
I'll give everybody a little bit of a preview of what I'm going to be talking about when it comes to risk management. I think that traders have to answer three questions before they click their mouse to enter a trade. They have to know, what is the reason for this
mhm.
trade? Is it a market breaking out through resistance? Is it a formation? You have to have a reason. The more reasons, the better if you have confluence. Okay. So if you've identified what's getting you in the trade, if that's negated, you should be out. So that's where your
Exactly.
stop is. If it's
Yeah.
negated,
Yeah.
you should be out. And the third question is, when I'm right, what am I looking for?
Exactly.
Am I risking 70 to make 40 pips? What's the potential of the trade that gives you your R to R?
Yep.
So if you haven't answered those questions before you enter a trade, you're unprepared for managing the risk. You're unprepared for knowing even why you're in a trade. So
Exactly.
you can't know if a trade's going wrong if you haven't identified the reason for that was compelling for you to take risk. And you also have to have a target. You could
Yeah.
have a few targets, but
Yeah.
have some type of goal for the trade.
Exactly.
So anyway,
Exactly.
that's a preview for August 7th.
Oh, that's great. I'm
So
glad more people
I
are
know.
talking about it, you know.
Yeah, so the three questions, huh? It's like three drives to a top, three drives to a bottom. They have three reasons to do a trade. Love that
Exactly.
number.
Yep, it's a great number.
Anyway, so uh, what are you thinking? I know you think that we're a little bit like the giraffe walking backwards. Do you think that there's the Fed could be behind this market finally having a correction? Could it be
I hope.
weak data
I
this
hope we.
week?
I hope. I either hope somebody flubs earnings or the Fed or somebody says something, and we get a little bit of liquidation. The problem is too is month end is what, Wednesday or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Thursday is the last trading day of the month. So, this is a, in the old days this would be a T+3 short squeeze, but uh, yeah, I really, I hope the Fed says something. Um, but I have no idea what they're going to say because I'm not a macro guy and I don't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
So, I sit here and my big belief in times like this, because there's so much news, there's so much data. What I've been telling people is to trust the chart. You know,
So would you sell a rally if we got one to your VWAP
I
level up there?
I don't like right now. I'm long 35 and I'm selling into the 38s and 39s.
Okay.
Yeah, because what I do is I build a little position, in this blue area, which is my balance, right? And I build a little position in here. And as soon as it starts to move, I look to see where they sold before by the tops of the other candles, and I put sell
Got it.
orders out,
Okay.
right? And then I'm out now. You know,
Okay.
I'll take, on 3 to 5 contracts on the ES. I'll take 3 to 5 points. I'm lucky if I get five. I'll take 3 points on 5 contracts all day, every day. And because I trade for income, I'm a grinder. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
just keep hitting those little solid one base hits, and it adds up. It adds up. I had this old Italian client who said, "Listen, kid, don't be greedy. A million here, a million there. It adds up." When we were doing
Yeah.
deals, you know,
Yeah.
you know, it, you would always get cheap stock, and you'd get stock at a nickel. It'd go to 15 cents. He's out. Then it would go to $1. He'd go, "That's okay. It can go without me." Next deal.
Well, at least they'll still be called kid instead of pops.
I'm getting up there. I'm getting
You're
up
gonna,
there.
you should be, he must really be a pops to call you a
Oh yeah,
kid.
yeah.
All
This
right.
was a
Yeah.
while ago. This
All
I'm
right. Yeah.
57 now, so I'm getting a
Yeah.
little long in the tooth. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go to a dentist.
Yeah.
Anyway, anyway, so anything new with your businesses you want to report? What's going
Well,
on? And
yeah, just getting ready for the next coaching class. I'm going to be starting a new coaching class in September,
mhm.
where I do one-on-one mentoring. I do a lifetime mentoring program for people
Oh,
who, yeah. So a lot of courses and things like that. I find that, you sell them to people, and they don't get the sort of aftermarket support, or after sales support. So I'm with them for life. You sign up with me, and we work until we get you profitable, and I basically haunt you until you are.
okay.
And yeah, and there's no time limit on one-on-one coaching, so it's good, and I've seen good success over the last 3 years with it. So just getting ready
Well,
for that, and
how about the IPO you're working on?
working on it's taking time. The lawyers and the lawyers and the investors are it's kind of like herding alligators doing these IPOs. When you're doing
Yeah,
it without the support of an investment bank, you just kind of wrangling people, but they're going well. They're going well. It's just slow. And I've learned one thing in those deals, that you have to do them slow and do them right. It's like building the foundation of a house. If you rush them, all sorts of crazy stuff happens. And you get things like DTC chills, where they chill the stock, and all sorts of stuff if the legal work hasn't been done properly. And so it's just best to take the time and
yeah.
build it out. Build it, they
Sounds
will
like
come.
a sounds like a nightmare to me. Anything regulated. So how about I bet a lot of your friends, if you still have any from Vancouver, have had quite a year with what's happening in mining,
Oh yeah.
uranium,
Oh
gold,
yeah. They're happy.
copper.
They're happy. They are happier than hell. Then you'll see them all celebrating with new houses that their next ex-wife can take away.
Yeah,
They'll be
right.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
they're doing well. Mining is a tough business. It's either feast or famine. So
yeah,
um, things are going well for the hard rock miners now, and it's good because I've done mining deals, and boy, they are. sometimes in bad environments, oof, I had one of my
Yeah,
clients drill for oil when it was $17 a barrel and against everybody's advice,
yeah,
and put $5 million into a dry hole. It's like, what was the point of that? You know?
yeah, yeah. They're risk takers.
Hmm.
They're like, well, farmers are too.
Exactly.
I mean, almost any business nowadays. Any view on, what's happening in the country and tariffs and all the different wars that you're seeing? You've been around. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen a climate that we
No,
have in the world like this?
no, I have never seen anything like this. And the funny thing is, the market just keeps barreling ahead,
Yeah,
ignoring it. They put out so much bad news every week that you think that this would be a table pounding short, but the chart is telling you don't. You know,
yeah.
I never. I've done it a couple of times. I've shorted the front side of the move, and shorting the front side of the move just gets you in so much trouble until the sellers have a reason to lower price. There's no reason to be short. You know,
Yeah.
um,
And
I,
you still feel that way.
I do, I do. I mean,
Okay.
I'm a scalper, so I'm not holding long
Doesn't
positions.
matter. Yeah, it
But
doesn't
even
matter.
I will not short the front end of the move because the front end of the move is for size traders to move their inventory off into retail buying,
Okay.
right?
So you're really only playing the long side. You're
I
looking
don't.
for buys
Yeah, until they
only.
change the structure of the market, I do what we
Yeah,
call the look below and fail. I'll
yeah,
scalp short, right? Just to keep my skill up because my shorting skills last year were really bad because I never did any. But I like to scalp short. I like to scalp the backfill, if we were, you hit 40 and a quarter right now and you sell maybe 39 and a half, put your stop at 40 and a half, and then, try and bid it at 37. But if there's no seller, I'm gone. I watch the offer like a hawk. As soon as that offer starts lifting and I'm short, I'm gone. I'm like a cockroach in a New York apartment when you turn on the light. As soon as that offer starts to lift, I just disappear. There's no reason for me to be short when the offer is moving higher against you.
hmm,
You've lost your seller. When you've lost your seller, you've got to flatten out.
yeah. Tony Montana would call you a cockroach.
Definitely. He
You
also
know,
said, yeah, he also
go
said
ahead.
he also said don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah, and
And
yeah, see, he broke, see how his risk management was poor.
yeah, exactly.
Wasn't it? Anyway, he buried his whole face in a pile. So Jim Valentine wants to know how to get a hold of you. Okay,
Oh,
Mandy VWAP Trader on Twitter.
yeah, I'm VWAP Trader
That's a
One on Twitter.
VWAP
Uh,
Trader One.
yeah.
Are there any other places you're
Yep.
taking communications?
Trader One on X, and yeah, I'm also at the Trading Syndicate. That's our room.
Okay. All right, so they've got it.
Yeah.
They've got at least a trading syndicate. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
So are you a made man in the syndicate?
Today I haven't got my button
Uh,
yet.
all right. Anyway, I'm glad you made it here today,
Thank you,
JJ.
Coach. I love being with you guys. It's I always learn something when I come on this. I'll
Yeah,
kind of come on early and lurk around and listen to your other guests. So
okay. Well, that's our team, you know. I call them the dream team. A
that's
bunch
good.
of legends hanging out, batting the ball around. So great talking to you. We'll get back together in the fall. And in the meantime, hope you have another successful round of taking students and having them avoid stepping on the landmines and
Definitely.
managing risk. And best of luck to you and
Thank,
your people, JJ.
thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of the summer.
Okay, buddy. Thank you
All
very
right.
much. Saloon likes you, and he's not easy to please. And so that's a wrap, everyone. Remember, don't just count your VWAPs, count your blessings. See everyone tomorrow. Join the team in about mm, 20 minutes on the morning edge. And most of all, everyone, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Adios. You're welcome. You're welcome, Hugo, Mandy, everyone. Good luck today. Adios. And thanks again, JJ.